Divine greetings, Masters. Very good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. This is Madhu Soni welcoming you all to Light and Soul Meditation English Group. So, before we go ahead, as you all know, we have to start our session with the prayers that we always give gratitude, respects, and regards to all the Masters. So, with great respects, regards, and gratitude to all the Masters, our Param Guru Mandali Masters, Saptarishi Mandal Masters, Ascended Masters, Astral Masters from the most high realms, and Masters who are our loved ones, ancestors, guides, guardian angels, Masters from the spiritual realms, our spirit animals, spirit guides, Masters from the elemental kingdom, Masters from the pyramid world, crystal world, and also Masters from the astral realms. We give our great respects, regards, and gratitude to each and every one, to all those masters who are always guiding us, helping us from all the kingdoms, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom. We also give our great respects and regards to our Mother Earth, Father Universe, Mother Nature, the cosmic energy, life force energy, sun, moon, and the constellations. We give our respects and regards to all the siddhas, gurus, teachers, healers, and mentors. We also ask and pray to all the divine beings, all the guides, all the masters to help us connect with their consciousness so that we may also get that divine knowledge and wisdom that they got. Please help us align with the soul purpose and the soul planning, and also with the highest timeline that we have set for our incarnations on the soul journeys. Please protect us and guide us and help us to walk the path of truth and honesty with great compassion, love, kindness, and peace. Thank you so much. So, very warm welcome, Masters, to all the new and old members who are here today. And thank you for being here, Masters, and sharing your precious time, space, and energy with the group and with each other. So, Masters, as you all know, we are doing this wonderful book named as Only Love is Real by Dr. Brian Weiss. And today we will be doing chapter 21. So, let me share the session. Let me share the page with you, the quotation that every master share. So this is today the quote is from um, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. I believe you all know about him and who he is. He was a great non-violence master, and he had kept silent also. He had, done so many, I would say, that's a very wonderful word that was coming and now it went away. So anyhow, he had been a great inspiration to many people in India, like I would say to everyone. And we have a holiday in name of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. And also just like MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., he is also um, one of our great inspiring leaders and who actually preached non-violence and also preached non-vegetarianism. He was also talking about that whatever we grow in India, we should actually sell that only. He was a ardent, um, you know, believer that we can do wonders. Our land has a lot of wonderful things that can be taken into consideration. Worked with it. He used to um, he used to take out thread out of cotton, and khadi garments actually came into existence because of him as well. Definitely long time back people used to do that, but when he started doing it, so many people were following him. Anyhow, masters, today's chapter 21 is about believing as I do in the theory of rebirth. I live in the hope that if not in this birth, in some other birth, I shall be able to hug all humanity in friendly embrace. Meaning that there should be a time when, he feels that still there was something left that he wanted to, and it was hugging all of humanity in a friendly embrace where everyone is a friend to each other. There's no hatred, no toxicity, narcissism with anyone. It's just all friends. Everywhere friends are there, and everyone can embrace each other without any judgment, criticism. So this was from Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So masters, today here we are going to talk about Pedro and Elizabeth, basically. So now the story, let me tell you what happened was that as you have heard all the stories from till chapter 22, till yesterday, we understood that Pedro is going through different past life regressions. Elizabeth also is going through different past life regressions. So every other day they are having their past life regression. And we last night we have spoken about how Dr. Weiss did not want to discuss about Elizabeth to Pedro or about Pedro to Elizabeth, because that would be a malpractice. It would be breaching of the privacy, and that is what he never wanted to do. But he thought that, somehow I can be the mediator between them, or the medium for their union. But somehow he did not want to interfere with the free will, and that is why. And also he did not want to do this malpractice. So what he did now, in very short, I'm saying. So what he did was, he whenever Pedro and Elizabeth's turn came, because now he understood that Eli was no one but it was Pedro, and Elizabeth was none other than that Eli's daughter. And in this lifetime, they have the same stories, which later on Dr. Weiss got to understand that these are the two people who need to meet each other. But if I make them meet, because I know their story now, so should I tell them? But he was as you all know, it would be a malpractice. So what he did, like this time, what he did, now he said that let me make appointments sequentially, one after the other. Okay, like as Pedro is leaving, maybe Elizabeth is coming, that kind of thing. Or when Elizabeth is leaving, Pedro is coming, something like that. Earlier, it was a day before, or one day after another. So they never met. But this is how he thought, let me just put this like that and see if that works. So when Pedro was leaving, um, yeah, I think, no, yeah, when Elizabeth was leaving, Pedro was waiting for his turn. So as soon as they met in the waiting room, so there was a waiting room where every patient of Dr. Weiss has to sit before they go into the psychiatric room, or before they go into the past life regression therapy. So Pedro was waiting for his turn, and when the time came, Dr. Weiss came out with Elizabeth, and as Elizabeth was leaving, Pedro saw Elizabeth with Dr. Weiss, and he saw her for a moment, and as if their eyes were talking with each other, or they came in contact. They saw each other, and they had a very brief smile, and and Elizabeth went, just not to make more eye contact, because she knew that people do look at her because she's beautiful, and she has long hair, and she looks beautiful. Her body figure is also good. Everything is good about her. But it's about both of them are searching for their mates, and no one is successful at this time. So when Dr. Weiss came out with Elizabeth, and Pedro was the next to go inside, so both of them had eye contact, and now Dr. Weiss waves goodbye to Elizabeth, and now Pedro comes inside. So Pedro says to Dr. Weiss, as soon as he was sitting, he says on the chair that, very interesting woman, So, or something about her beauty, I think he said. So Dr. Weiss says, yeah, she's really interesting. And that's what was being said by Doctor, yeah, I think, yeah, a very attractive woman. That's what Pedro said. So he commented, and then he sat down heavily on the leather chair. So Dr. Weiss said and answered eagerly, yes, she's a very interesting person too. So Pedro says, that's nice. And definitely his attention had already began to wander. Basically, now he's thinking about her. But he turned to task of terminating the sessions, because now it's his time, because both of them had been doing good with the sessions. Their trauma had been relieved, and they were in more like much relaxed state. So soon Pedro had to go to Mexico to settle down, to go back. And Elizabeth also had to somehow she would also be going through and terminating the sessions. So this actually was there in Dr. Weiss's mind, that soon they both will be terminating their sessions, and he doesn't know if they would be able to meet, because if he does not do anything, somehow maybe the destiny might do something, but it will be very late. And so he did not want to interfere though, but he wanted to give just a slight help. I would say slight help, because he did not want to interfere, and he did not want to be at the brunt of malpractice. That's what the main theme is here. So when he understood that Pedro would soon be terminating session, so he kept this kind of meeting where it would be a sequential turn. So here, Dr. Weiss is now going through the session, and he had pushed this brief meeting with Elizabeth out of his mind with Pedro. Basically, we are talking about Pedro here. So Pedro now takes out Elizabeth from his mind and now concentrating on his session. So neither Pedro nor Elizabeth followed up on this encounter in the waiting room, and neither they asked for more information about the other. So and this happened for maybe few more appointments. So Dr. Weiss decided to do back to back appointments again 2 weeks later, and he's like basically not breaching the confidentiality also, but he's also not putting them to directly speak to both of them, basically not telling anyone anything, but giving them chance before Pedro's appointment. And so similar to that, final appointment came for Pedro. And again, so as he like they gazed, it was Pedro's final appointment prior to his move, right? So they gazed at each other again as Dr. Weiss escorted them to the waiting room. So again, their eyes met, and for more time, the eyes were lingering on each other. Then Pedro nodded and smiled, and Elizabeth also turned and smiled. And so she also hesitated for a moment, and then turned the door and left. So, because she's working with Dr. Weiss, so now what is happening basically when you have a connection with a certain person who can talk to you telepathically, or who understands you emotionally, you can actually talk telepathically with them. So mental message was being sent by Dr. Weiss that trust yourself, that that person, or you are good looking and you are interesting woman, something like that. So he sends that message. So basically, as Pedro was nodding and smiling, she was also smiling in return, but still hesitating for a moment. So Dr. Weiss sent this message: trust yourself. And so basically trying to remind Elizabeth this important lesson, that you need to trust yourself. But she did not respond anything. So again, Pedro did not follow up. He did not ask Dr. Weiss about Elizabeth. And again, he in his mind, he was thinking about Mexico, where he has to relocate. And so he ended his therapy on that day. And then maybe he thought that now there will be nothing that will be happening. Perhaps Dr. Weiss thought that this is not to be. I thought they both were improved, although not happy. Perhaps this was enough. So he now Dr. Weiss is saying that you will not always marry your most strongly bonded soulmate. There may be more than one of you, because soul families travel together. You might choose to marry a less bonded soul companion, one who has some things specific to teach you or to learn from you. So your recognition of a soulmate may occur later in life, after both of you are already committed to your present life families. So basically, I'm going to again explain this. Now, there are 2, 3 cases that are happening, masters. One is that sometimes maybe you might not marry a person who is your soulmate. It can be a person, a karmic, who you would be marrying so that you can learn a lesson from them, or you are going to teach them a lesson, or they are going to learn something from you. Let me put it this way, right? The other sentence was a little rude, but that is how it happens with relationships. And later in life, sometimes you meet your soulmates, and it is very different. And when you meet your soulmates, it might be that you are meeting with them as a friend, or you are meeting for the time when they are going to help you out of something. Once the time is, or the task is done, both the parties have to move on, right? So that is what has been mentioned in the pages. in this chapter. So here, and he also says that sometimes what happens that you can have a partner who would be like your, in real life, you, whatever you are having as partner, maybe they might be your mother and son. That kind of a relationship might be there. Like in my case, I believe that my, not I believe because I have been shown, so I'm saying because I've seen this past life of mine, where I've seen that my husband was my son in my past life and I was his mother, and in this lifetime I am his wife and he's my husband. So we are teaching each other something. I don't know what, but we are. So anyhow, going through this humorous way. But so this is what it is, Master. Sometimes your soulmate is willing and available. And uh, uh, here this line is written, or your strongest soulmate connection may be to your parent or to your child or to your sibling. It can be anyone. So your recognition of a soulmate may occur later in life after both of you are already committed to your present life families. Or your strongest connection may be to a soulmate who has not incarnated, and yes, who has not incarnated during your lifetime, but is watching over you from the other side, like a guardian angel. So sometimes your soulmate would be willing and available. He might, he or she might be recognize the passion and chemistry between you, the intimate and subtle bonds, the simple, that imply connections over many lifetimes. Yet he or she may be toxic for you. It is a matter of soul development. So now here, maybe a person who might be a soulmate or who might have a soul contract with you, they will be there, but sometimes the soul hasn't developed or they haven't progressed. They did not do the hard work of basically going through that soul journey that they needed to take. They did not work on their emotional blockages. They are still wounded in trauma and pain, and they haven't cleared those issues. So whenever you meet, and if you meet and you feel like that connection is there, but maybe the understanding might not be there. So your strongest connection may be to a soulmate who has not incarnated during your lifetime, but they are watching you as a guardian angel. But sometimes it would be that your connection would be very intimate and subtle, but he or she may be very toxic for you because the soul hasn't developed. So in one soul, if one soul is less developed and more ignorant than the other, traits of violence, greed, jealousy, hatred, and fear might be brought into the relationships. These tendencies are toxic to the more evolved soul, even if from a soulmate. So the soulmate can be very evolved soul as well, but tendencies can be very toxic. Maybe the person is an old soul, but the tendencies are very toxic, narcissistic. Maybe they are your soulmate, and you might have a, like, you time and again would go through the toxicity just so that you have that connection. But maybe they are very narcissistic, toxic, and you should basically at this time you have to let go or surrender to the process because they haven't learned the lesson. If they are karmics and they are staying with you, it's really, really difficult stage. But if they are not in your karmic, uh, basically um, in your life as your partners, real life partners, then it would be little easy to ignore. But when they are right in front of you every day, it can be anyone. It can be your children, it can be your spouse, it can be your sister, sibling, mother, so many people, right? So it is difficult, and the tendencies can be very toxic. So frequently rescue fantasies arise with the thought that I can change him. I can help her grow. So now what you think is that now I can help him grow. Let me help him once again. Maybe let me help them. Maybe this time he might or she might understand. But if he does not allow your help, maybe they don't want to take your help. If in her free will she chooses not to learn, not to grow, the relationship is doomed. Perhaps there will be another chance in another lifetime. So sometimes we have to let go and let the universe take over, because maybe you have to work with them in another lifetime, not in this lifetime. So unless he or she awakens later in this one, so late awakenings also do happen. So sometimes soulmates decide not to get married while incarnated. They arrange to meet, to stay together, until the agreed upon task is completed, and then to move on. So these agendas, their lessons, plans for the entirety of this life are different, and they do not want to or need to spend all of this lifetime together. So sometimes people can come together uh, because of a task. They were given a task, maybe you were given a task to help them get out of that muck or whatever it is, but they did not. They choose not to get awakened. They choose not to work on themselves. So that task that you were there for, maybe they were there to help you out spiritually, or maybe they were there to help you out physically in the physical world, and you were there to help them out in the spiritual world. But both the tasks might have not been completed. So sometimes we have to let go of that relation. We have to let go and surrender. So their agendas, their lesson plans for the entirety of this life are different, and they do not want to need to spend all of this lifetime together. This is not a tragedy, he says, only a matter of learning. You have eternal life together, but sometimes you may need to take separate classes. So a soulmate who is available but unawakened is a tragic figure and can cause you great anguish. Unawakened means that he or she does not see life clearly, is not aware of many levels of existence. Unawakened means not knowing about souls. Usually, it is the everyday mind that prevents awakening. So now he says that he has heard many excuses of the mind all the time, that I am too young, I need more experience, I'm not ready to settle down yet, or you are of a different religion, so race, region, social status, intellectual level, cultural background, and so on. So these are actually excuses for all the souls to possess that they don't want to change. And these are the some of the attributes that some of the soul possesses. So the person may recognize the chemistry, the attraction might be there, but the source of the chemistry is not understood. Basically, you don't know where you are coming from which past life you are together, why you feel a sense of attraction towards that person, why you feel. Sometimes you start feeling that you are delusional, and you believe that this passion, the soul recognition, attraction, it is basically delusional, will be easily found again with another person. So what you do when somebody does not understand, what they do is they try to move on with some other person, and they did, right? But if they are still doing it and they're basically running from what you feel for the other person, and to get out of that feeling, you think that maybe the other person can give you the same feeling that you felt with this person. But then you are stuck because you understand that what you felt with that other person is not there anymore. You can't feel the same thing with other persons. So basically, you understood in your heart and mind that that was your soulmate that you just missed. So you do not run into such a soulmate every day, perhaps only one or two more in a lifetime. So divine grace may reward a good heart, a loving soul. So never worry about meeting soulmates. Such meetings are a matter of destiny. They will occur after the meeting. The free will of both partners reigns, and what decisions are made or not made are a matter of free will of choice. So the less awakened will make decisions based on the mind and all of its fears and prejudices. Whenever you are unawakened and you don't know many of the stuff, you will make the decisions out of your mind. But someone who is spiritually awakened, they will make decisions from heart, because they know that only love is real. Unfortunately, this often leads to heartache. The more awakened the couple is, the more the likelihood of a decision based on love. When both partners are awakened, ecstasy is within their grasp. So here is the end of chapter 21, Masters. Thank you so much for hearing me out. And anyone wishes to share their views? It was, I just finished all the chapters I've read, everything, and it was so heartwarming because it's really good. But it depends, how the couples are. If, as in the last para, as we read just now, that there are couples who are both of them are awakened, then it's like ecstasy. You feel everything, you sense everything. And anyhow, Nina ji, go ahead. I don't want now. I want to keep my mouth shut.
Madhuji, just on a lighter note, today it looks like Bollywood movie.
Oh yes,
Nazare mili.
नजरे मिली, दिल धड़का, धड़का,
Yes.
धड़का.
So now we believe in more in those movies. Like we have some past connections.
गधे को
So,
समझ में भी तो आना चाहिए.
right. It's so,
Anyhow,
oh
it's
my
a गधा
God.
हो या गधी
So
हो,
beautiful.
किसी को समझ
Yeah.
में तो आना चाहिए. But anyway, so on a lighter note, yes, that is what I wanted to say. And the point is, when both the couples are ready and they know, they understand the relation is very spiritual. But if both of them, like one of them is very spiritually awakened, the other is not spiritually awakened, they are physically more physical, and they are more into the physical world, the physical reality. What happens? It is unbalanced situation basically, but both are helping. One is helping physically, uh, like the energies are helping. I wouldn't say that are actually helping together, basis on the basis of physicality, I would say. But somehow that energy is pushing you into the physicality of everything, and the spiritual awakened person is also giving that energy, the boost to the person who is basically set with the physical mindset. So that spiritual energy is also being given to that other person. But it is up to the person who is more into that physical mindset. They need to understand this, that you are being helped. They should have this understanding, that consciousness. But if that consciousness is not there, you can't do anything. You just have to wait, or you have to surrender to the process, or ignore, or move on. That is what. So it's very difficult, but yeah, that is where you also go into dark night of the soul, and where your soul actually goes into that hermit stage. You start working on yourself, you start understanding why you are behaving like that, why you are creating such basically problems for your own self. Sometimes what people do is, they know that the relation is hurting, they know that they have to go to this particular relationship, but what they do, they break off that relationship because they cannot control, they cannot understand what is happening, they are more confused, they don't understand the spiritual part of it. When they don't understand, they will run. That is the running and chasing dynamic that will go on then. And mostly it happens with the twin flame. Anyhow, coming back, Neera ji. Anyone else, Masters?
Um,
Neerja ji, okay. Yeah.
yeah, no, I was thinking of the same thing, but Nina ji put it well. That the pallu comes and touches or the chunni.
Wow, guys,
So,
you are.
no,
There was one movie also,
yeah.
right?
Uh,
I don't remember the name exactly. Kirti Senan and Sushant Rajput Singh. They have shown that reincarnation. They met
Yeah, yeah.
again.
I
yeah.
There
also
was
remember the movie.
like
Even the
it was.
one with Simi Garewal and Rishi Kapoor, right?
Yes,
The old
yes.
ones. Yeah.
Correct,
But
correct.
for me, this part is really very, I learned something today because I didn't have time to read it. I had a busy day,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't read it. So I'll go back and read. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that it makes you think that if you didn't meet whoever you think or you're not
Right.
happy, it could be that is there. In Hinduism also we say it's your karma. Finish off this karma. I remember somebody telling a family member, finish it off in this lifetime, otherwise you'll have to go through it again.
Yes,
But
yes.
but but
True.
the one thing I feel is like if you're talking openly and if there is some kind of a sexual abuse or something, right?
Yeah.
How can that be a soul's plan? That I feel like how does that ever resolve, or if there's like
I
killing or something? Yeah.
I don't know much about this, but I have this understanding about it. I have, I would say I have seen people going through sexual abuse, basically telling about it, um, as a counselor to me,
Hmm.
and also telling like, yes, they went into such and such thing, but because maybe in their past life they must have also done the same thing to the other, and that is
Yeah.
why the balance of the karma is happening in this lifetime. And if
And
you,
it's so hard to explain to somebody because just recently, just a few days ago, my sister was calling me and telling me that there was a little girl opposite the house. She was like the maid's daughter,
oh my God.
studying well and all, but apparently the parents were strict or something. Just in like maybe 14 or 15 years, she just drank some poison and because then she was liking some boy and it didn't, and I was thinking, man, it's child, what she must have gone through or what is the story. But it's so for young people to explain that, like you see
Right.
Romeo and Juliet or some Laila Majnu and all
See,
that, they make this
nowadays
thing.
here also, it's very difficult in US also. Many children, they are there in parents' life, like the parents are there. The life is so busy here, morning, evening, nobody is there to take care of them. And I used to work as a teacher, I really don't want to say this, but I've seen children who had been coming from homes where the parents were smoking weed, and the children's body were reeking of weed smell, because in their house they are smoking cigars, they are smoking weeds, alcohol. And the child had issue with cold and cough all the time because that smoke was giving them problem. Just imagine now, think about it as a sexual abuse. The child is not taken care of. I'm not talking about that child, but just imagine if somebody is going through the sexual abuse, that person will be very calm and quiet, will not share, will be shy, and will be not able to address, will not, maybe they might be stammering also, you don't know, because they are, and they most of the time they think that the problem exists in me. That is
Yeah.
why this happened. I am the person, and they feel guilty about themselves. And sometimes these children who, when they grow up, they also start behaving like that because they think this behavior is right, because
It's, yeah.
there was no
It's,
one to address this, and there was no one to correct this, and
yeah.
no one to tell them that this is wrong. And because this is wrong, nobody had told them. Now they are also behaving just like that sexual abuser. So it is
The
very
concept of sorry, the concept of soul plan makes sense in everything. In this is one which it's hard to
wonderful.
comprehend. It's hard
No,
to
I'll
understand.
tell
But
you. See,
at
now
least for
here there are two things. I'll tell you about the things that we have learned. The teachers here in a group which we are very much aligned with, I will say like this. I'm not going to take any names, but we have been taught that if there is some kind of thing going on, you just wait and watch. And I'm not up for it, masters, really. I'm
yeah,
not going to sit or stand and look that this is happening, and I'm going to stand and look.
yeah,
No, definitely interfering part is not okay. I understand, because we'll be interfering in the soul planning. But if it is happening in front of me, I can't control
yeah.
myself.
You
I will
can't
go and
control. I'm
I
like
will
that
stop.
too.
I will try to stop, because now comes the second learning. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, whatever is happening right in front of you, आप जो कुछ भी कर रहे हो, वो जो कुछ आपने देखा, अगर आप किसी नेगेटिव चीज को देख रहे हो, इफ यू आर सीइंग समथिंग दैट इज नॉट गुड एंड यू आर वाचिंग ऑल्सो, यू आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बियर द brunt of that karma.
And not do anything. Just
And
watching
you're
and
not
not do.
protecting. If
Yeah.
you cannot be protect, like basically, if you are not the protector, but you are just the seer of that particular thing that's happening, that means you're also the same thing that you are, that antagonist is doing, basically,
Yeah.
right?
That's part of the
You're
bad
part of that
karma.
karma. Yeah, you are part of that karma. So in some talks of Krishna, he also is saying that there might be a lot of things happening. I think there's a story behind it. With who he shared, I don't know, remember, but he shared that, I think it was with Arjun and Karna. So Krishna says that, why Arjun got this and Karna was left out, something like that. So I'm not sure, because he was also called as Danvir Karna. He was the person who
Yeah.
donates a lot. He used to donate gold, you know. So he says to Krishna, you knew everything, but why I was not given this and this? I don't know what the story is, but then he said that there was this thing happening and you just stood there. You didn't do anything.
No, Indra was their father,
Something
and
like
he is born with this with all the kavach, that armor and everything. And Indra knows that if he has the kavach on his body, he can kill Arjun. So Indra comes in the form because he's Arjun's this thing and asks for that. So when he peels that out of his body, he loses his capacity to overtake Arjun. So
Yeah.
he lost that. But because he's a person who never says no, whenever anybody asks, even though it's putting his life at risk, he gives it. And then he asked Krishna, how come you knew that Indra came in
Um,
disguise and asked me something like that?
yeah.
Or, yeah,
So what
which I
happened?
think was
Then
Indra.
finally
And
what
then
happened?
he then he becomes, so he loses his strength, and that's why Arjun is able to kill him.
No,
in the
no,
war.
that is there. But
He,
she says
he
because
pulls.
in the past life there was some old blind man, and something happened, and he was the only, because he saw that the old person is asking for alms, and um, so something like that happened. I don't know what. I will refer to the story and come back tomorrow. But this is what happened. So that is why Krishna says that you just stood there and did nothing.
Mm,
So I will see to that, if there is something wrong going on, will you just stand there and do nothing? Or you will just come up and help? That is what also is required. So now the soul planning on sexual abuse is that yes, if something is happening in front of you, this is my preaching, masters. I'm not
right.
associating anything with anyone, but this is what I understood, and I will do this because it.
Right, but for that person to have that in their soul plan is hard to understand
Yeah,
why
because
they
if
have it.
they don't go with that soul plan, now the
Yeah,
point is, suppose me and you are there and we did something bad, okay, something negative in the past life. But here in this lifetime, we are friends and we are not, but we all have to bear the brunt of that karma.
yeah,
And whenever, because that is the soul plan that we made before coming here, it was made by us, and we will be interfering in our soul plan,
yeah,
right? So somebody else will be interfering if they just are coming and helping us, right? So there are certain lessons that we all have to learn before we go from that particular incarnation. But if we haven't learned and somebody had come and helped us, that lesson was not being learned. Maybe we might learn and we have that understanding now after going through a particular challenge, but we were saved. Okay, maybe that also might be the soul plan, to be saved and learning
yeah,
the lesson at the same time. But if we haven't learned the lesson, maybe that this thing will happen again, because how, whenever we are not learning a lesson, the things are happening again and again like a repeated cycle.
yeah.
And
Like for example, in that other story, in the other chapter, Elizabeth, her husband is away raiding and doing whatever or hunting, and
yeah,
then this other enemy team comes and takes her, and they
yeah,
keep her as a keep, right?
yeah,
Why did she have to go through it? Could be that something in her
yeah.
life.
So
Yeah,
but then the point is, in some other lifetime, there is that lesson that's you, what happens is that particularly like in Elizabeth's story, with Bob, I think, right? She
yeah.
has this story that he would come and abuse her, beat her, something, or being very toxic. And so finally he left her. She
I
left,
mean, he was
he left
he
him,
was
right?
indifferent. He didn't hit her or anything, but he was indifferent. But in one lifetime, she's
There
also like that
was
when she's
someone
in the
who,
tribe, the nomadic tribe, that other enemy comes and takes her away because she's beautiful. They kill her child and they kill her.
so
Oh,
something like that. And then, but yes, in Bob was very abusive, and I think the physical abuse was also there in one of the story.
mhm.
So, yes, Asha ji, you wanted to share something?
यस
Mm-hmm.
यस आत्मवंदन।
हाँ तो
मधु जी, मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगी,
हम्म
हिंदी में बताऊंगी। वो जो आप बोलते हो ना, वो कर्ण होता है, वो कृष्ण उसको बोलता है कि आपने द्रौपदी वस्त्रहरण हुआ तभी भी आप देखते रहे, और
Ah,
हाँ
अभिमन्यु को
करेक्ट
भी जब भी
yes, yes,
सभी ने मारा, सब मिलके मार रहे थे, वो
हम्म
भी इतना
यस
रॉन्ग
यस
था। वो भी कर्ण भी उसमें था,
या
वहां देख रहा था।
हम्म
तो वो और दूसरी भी बहुत बातें, मैं अभी दो ही बातें
हम्म
इमीडिएट मेरे मन में
करेक्ट
आई।
नो नो
तो वो
बिल्कुल
दो
सही
बातें हैं, और बहुत बातें जो कर्ण सिर्फ देखता रहा। कर्ण बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत ग्रेट था, लेकिन वो अन्याय को देख
देखता
ही
रहा
रहा था, उसने कुछ
करेक्ट
मदद नहीं की।
हाँ
उसका ये
हाँ
ग्रेटिट्यूड ग्रेटिट्यूड ग्रेटिट्यूड।
thank you so much Asha ji,
okay.
wonderful story.
Yeah,
Basically
remember it.
now you all know, so I am not going to like say that again, but it was about yes Hilary, go ahead please, unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Um, there is a form of therapy, hypnotherapy,
Uh-huh.
also, which works with extremely traumatized people
Yeah,
from war zones, from sexual abuse.
correct.
And I think it's called internal family systems, but I'm not sure. I haven't thought about it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that when you help somebody get out of their victim's part of their
Mentality.
personality, and they
develop their sense of self. They get close to that core feeling of self. I guess that would be the higher self or the soul. That they are able to find that healthy center again.
Yes.
And I think sometimes that when people go through so much trauma, it's in a way it's a challenge to um, find that internal core self that stands strong and separate from whatever happened to you.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for putting this here, Hilary, because, yes, there are therapies, and many people, they understand that sexual abuse, whatever happened, or physical abuse, mental abuse, any harassment, sometimes that makes a person go inwards and they start going into meditation, spiritualism. They get awakened, they become woke, because this actually pushes them into near to God, near to their own center of self, and the understanding starts building up inside what happened to them, why this had happened to them, why it has to happen this way, why that person was there, why I'm feeling guilty. These are many questions that the mental body starts processing, the causal body and the supra. That means your the 5, 6, 7, basically 4, 5, 6, this body is basically developed at that time very quickly. Maybe you are not mature, but as you age, basically till 70 years of age or 80 years of age, we actually develop our this nirvanic body also because of experience. But many things happen to people, and that makes them go into this um, understanding of spirituality. Why, when, where, why this has to happen, who am I? And they have to separate themselves with the physical body and understand themselves as souls, like as Hilary put it, with their higher self, right? So thank you, Hilary, for putting this. Really good. And so thank you. Anyhow, masters, as you all know, we are now good for meditation. The time is up. So let's begin and go into meditation. It was really wonderful discussion. The 22nd chapter, 23rd and 24th are remaining now. 3 more chapters. So tomorrow Rani ji will be taking. Then day after tomorrow, Thursday, I really wanted to do it, but then I think Thursday we'll have a plain simple meditation. Friday, Nirja ji will be taking 23 and 24. I had read all the chapters, already finished it, but I just want to see if Nirja ji is able to do it. The last 24 chapter is just read it because it's a letter from Philo. It's a guide. Anyhow, sometimes, and then there comes the last page where same soul, different bodies, right? So your journey continues. It is also again another futuristic story. This was about past life, but now at the end of this book, we have this wonderful, yeah, same soul, many bodies, if anybody can see. Yeah. Okay. So we might think of doing this. Let's see if we can, because I really want to see that right now we have learned about how we can help ourselves by going into our past lives and healing ourselves with all the trauma, pain, and everything. Once we are done with this, it's good to know how we can improve ourselves and go to the future part where we can improve our present life with the future, thinking about our future. Basically, we don't need to worry about that, but we need to understand that our body can it. I'll just read it. Okay, I'll just read it. In this astounding and groundbreaking book, Dr. Brian Weiss reveals how our future lives can transform us in the present. We have all lived past lives. All of us will live future ones. What we do in this life will influence our lives to come as we evolve towards immortality. Dr. Brian Weiss has not only regressed all of his patients into the past, but also progressed them into the future. He has discovered that our futures are variable, and our choices we make now will determine the quality of our lives when we return. Using dozens of case histories, Dr. Weiss demonstrates the therapeutic benefits of progression therapy to bring patients more peace, joy, and healing, just as he has shown that journeys into the past lives can cure physical or emotional wounds in the present. So, whatever you do in your past life, whatever you have done, if you have healed your past, you can definitely have a beautiful present life as well as a beautiful future life. Because if you're working on your present every day, you don't need to worry about your future. Your future is sorted because you are working on your present. So this is what I'm going to stop now, but let's go into meditation. Think about it. It's such a beautiful thing that we are talking about past and future, but today will be working on our present, because that is where we need to be every time, every day, so that we can jump on that higher timeline with accordingly understanding that we are a healed person. We all are healed. Okay, so let's begin, masters. Let's take our position. Sit cross-legged like this. Clasp your hands and fingers and close your eyes. Drink some water if anybody needs, because water can hydrate us. During the time when we are meditating, sometimes we all get lot of heat energy. It can be because of Kundalini energy also, masters, the hot flashes during meditation. But sometimes it can be your inner trauma, pain, or any anger, frustration, irritation that can be coming out as feverish body or hot flashes. So drinking water can actually help your body, mind, and put your organs at ease. So inhale deeply in the starting of this meditation. I request each and everyone to close your eyes, sit cross-legged. If you're sitting on floor, if you're sitting on bed, or if you're sitting on sofa and chair, you can keep your feet down if you want to. Sit comfortably with your spine erect, head straight, no tightness whatsoever wherever in your body. Keep your shoulders relaxed, hands, arms, elbows in a relaxed position, keeping them on your lap. Closing your eyes and inhaling inwards, exhaling outwards. With every inhalation, be with your breath. Connect each and every body part as you inhale, starting from your crown and going down towards your toes. Imagining your soles of your feet being kept straight on the floor, as if you're touching the floor with your soles of your feet. Or if you are sitting cross-legged on the floor or anywhere, feel the area that your body is taking. Sense that area where your hips, thighs, knees, your toes, your ankles are touching the floor. That is the area where your body is growing roots. As you are concentrating on your in-breath and out-breath, make that connection with Mother Earth. Mother Earth always welcomes us. She puts us at ease with her grounding energies. She is always ready to connect with us. How compassionate of her, how loving and kind of her. This motherly energy that we come across every day, every time we stand up, sit down, we lay on our beds, or we walk. Wherever we are always connected to Mother Earth. But do we really sense this connection? Do we really feel it? So at this time, we all invoke Mother Earth. We call upon Mother Earth to give her compassionate, kind, loving energies to help us put ourselves at ease from morning till evening, wherever we were, with whomever we were, wherever we put our energies. We felt so much stressed, always in that waking state. We might be rushing here and there, doing things out of curiosity or out of responsibility, because that is what we are doing every day, out of routine. But do we have some time to just take a break and relax? Whenever you are rushing through stuff, going through your chores, take little time, maybe a minute out of your everyday rush, sit for a while and just take a fresh breath through your lungs, through your nostrils, and bring yourself to your center of self. This center will actually tell you, take a deep inhalation and feel the center of self. This is where your peace lies. You don't need to find that peace outside, that love, that care that you need, which you give out to others every day. Your center of self will help you bring yourself back, will give you a boost of energy and motivation to again go ahead with that same responsibility that you were a minute ago. But take this 1 minute from your daily routine, from your daily rush, with every task that you do the whole day. Maybe there might be hundreds of tasks. Just imagine, did you take rest? No, you didn't. So as you inhale and exhale, think of this time as you are meditating, as connecting yourself to that 1 minute rest time. So whenever you are rushing through stuff, doing your tasks, you take your 1 minute at that time and remember this time of meditation. And let it coincide with that 1 minute. You will regain a lot of energy, peace, unconditional love from your own self. This present self will act as a guide to your daily routine, as if this is your higher self guiding you. So take a deep inhalation, masters, from your nostril. Let it go into your crown, into your brain, and travel downwards into your body, into your facial expressions, into your neck, throat, voice, into your shoulders, spine, your lungs, heart. Take a deep inhalation again and exhale and relax. Again, do the same thing, but not robotically. Consciously breathing in as if you are closing your eyes and inhaling inwards deeply. And as you are exhaling restlessness, trauma, pain, any kind of abuse, any kind of trauma, unhealed wounds. Breathe out, release, and relax. Let go of that rushing energy as well. Inhale deeply, and as if you're sitting in your midday task, as you were rushing, you took this time out. Now you are also sensing that you are connected to Mother Earth. Her loving, compassionate, kind energy is enveloping you, filling you up. Feel her energies into you. It's seeping in from the bottom parts or from the parts where your feet is placed on the floor. As if your roots are bringing all these energies of Mother Earth into you, balancing you, grounding your energies, letting go of your irritation, anger, and everything subsided. You are the center of self with total peace and love. As if this is a cocoon of love that Mother Earth had shared with yourself, with everyone. A very warm feeling, a feeling of hug, unconditional love, motherly love, surrounding you, serenading you. You feel the sense of love in your heart and lungs. Feel the hug of Mother Earth around you, as if she's enveloping us, hugging us, holding us, and we are melting in her arms. Again, with deep inhalation, we are going down into our abdomen, into our sacral region, going down into your root region, feeling the connection between you and Mother Earth. And then again, going into your feet, from your waist, thighs, knees, calf muscles, ankles, heels, and soles of your feet and toes. Take deep inhalation. Hold your breath and exhale. And relax. As of now, you all have surrendered yourself into Mother Earth's arms. She's holding you like a baby. You are a baby and she is our mother. Feel that love, that hug, that care that you need. You wanted that support. It is here now. And Mother Earth is giving it very freely, without any partiality, without anything. Just plain, simple, unconditional giving. You're totally surrounded with this grounding energy. Mother Earth's green, healing, grounded energy. Take your own time as you're inhaling and exhaling, and let go of any separation, even in your breath. Just inhale deeply, exhale softly. Inhale deeply, exhale softly. And bring your attention onto your higher mind, the region where your hairline starts on your head. Every second of this time is very important. Take advantage of this time. Use it to the fullest. your breath, masters. Use every second to your advantage and let go of any identity, name, fame, losses, gain. Only remember to breathe in, breathe out, and let go of the separation as well. Feel the support of Mother Earth and filling you in with her energies, basically making you peaceful and calm all along the way. Whenever there is someone who might be testing your patience, remember this time of peace and calm. And don't get irritated, don't get angry. Just use this energy to your advantage. Now let go of this body identity as well. Only remember that you are a soul, and a soul who is very powerful, healthy and vibrant. And you are on this journey of progression. my dear masters. Now very slowly, let us all slowly and steadily come back into our body's consciousness. Take your time, one by one, to feel your toes, your body, your feet, the area you were sitting, the connection that you build with Mother Earth. And as you are sitting, keep your back straight, neck and head straight. And very slowly, with deep inhalation, come back into your body's consciousness. Give thanks to Mother Earth, Father Universe, Mother Nature, your life force energy, cosmic energy, and all the masters. Inhale deeply and slowly and steadily as you are coming back into the body's consciousness. Don't forget that Mother Earth is always with you, giving you this wonderful support of compassion, kindness, unconditional love, and her grounding energies, where you are totally free of any anger, irritation, and trauma. Very slowly unclasp your hands and fingers, masters. And very slowly, as you are unclasping your hands and fingers, keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Open your eyes beneath your palms, and now you can let go of your hands, hug yourself, and give this wonderful affirmation to yourself that I am love. As you inhale deeply, say I am love. As you exhale, you say, around me is love. I love everyone. I love myself. I love and accept everyone. I love everything about myself. Within me, around me is love. Whatever I do it with love, with peace and happiness. In all my workings, in all my givings and receivings, love is the main character, priority. Everything starts with love and ends with love. Thank you so much, masters. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back, masters. Thank you for being here, and gratitude to each and every master for giving this wonderful time to this group and to each other. Thank you. Anyone wishes to share any experiences, you are more than welcome to share, masters. You can raise your hand, you can share. If not, that's okay, no problem. Let's wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we'll be going into chapter 22 of this wonderful book, Only Love is Real. And let's end the session. Take care, stay blessed, masters. Stay happy. And may we all be happy, healthy, and vibrant. May we always feel and be abundant, powerful, prosperous, joyful, and also with unconditional love. Let us meditate together with everyone. Also, meditate with our own self and our energies. Teach meditation to everyone. Awaken others. Also, helping ourselves with our inner work every day. So do your much needed inner work, masters. Thank you, everyone. Stay blessed, stay vibrant, stay happy. Meet you tomorrow. Have a good night to all the US masters, to all the masters from anywhere else or India. Have a wonderful day, masters. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Have a restful night, masters. Thank you, everyone.